The minister in charge of the PWD buildings, Dasakhet Bhalamare, said that according to him, he does not agree to changing the design of the new assembly building, or he does not agree to the saying that the dome should not be installed anymore. He said for him personally, just because the dome collapsed, the design of the building should not be changed because it is a historic building for the state, and added that if anyone suggests building it differently, he will straight away reject the suggestion. He said that the dome has collapsed, but it does not matter, for a new one will be installed by strengthening the building because it has a beauty of its own, and it will be a structure that will carry a mark of identity for the state. With regards to the opposition of the Muda in installing the dome at the building, Lamare said that Muda did not oppose but recommended that it should not be installed, and said that the recommendation was also given after the collapse of the dome. The suspended MLA of the Congress from East Shillong constituency, Dr. M. Ampreen Lingdo, has expressed surprise over the Congress electing a new president in the constituency without seeking or consulting the supporters in the bloc or informing her. Apart from that, the president has been going around and introducing himself as a Congress candidate, but she said that this action will not deter her from contesting the election because the people want her to contest again in the election. She said that it is clear now that the Congress will no longer recognize the suspended MLAs to contest the elections, and added that the 5 MLAs will remain a team of only 5 and decided to not go to any party, and added that they have chosen them as MLAs of the Congress and they will complete their term as Congress MLAs. Ampreen Lingdo has expressed that the actions of the AICC leaders who came to Shillong, but they have not tried to talk or discuss with the 5 MLAs. She said that after the 12 MLAs who have merged with the AITC, the 5 remaining MLAs discussed at the MPCC office to clarify about where they would go and what actions to be taken, because they can no longer sit in the opposition with the 12 MLAs who have betrayed the party, because there may be more MLAs who might be attracted to go to the AITC.
So after covering approximately 80% of my constituency as of today, I can come to a clear conclusion that my constituents and the residents of my constituency, who are voters of this constituency, are very keen on seeing me remain in the fray. The first question that I asked myself after the Congress party has decided to install a new president in my constituency without my consent nor the bloc's consent, after this president has been going around saying that he is the candidate of the Congress, the first question that comes to my mind is, what is next? So I can't decide what is next. But the first impression one gets is, because the Congress doesn't give you a ticket, so you're going to stay put at home. So that part of the question, more or less, I have an answer to. My people still have faith in me and still want to see me as a candidate in 2023. The next confusion. Somebody in the Congress party says come back, somebody in the Congress party says don't come back. These are all irrelevant matters to the 5 of us as of today. Very clearly, the Congress has no intention whatsoever to accommodate us as candidates in the upcoming general state elections. Very clear. Now, we have been requested by our respective residents and voters to remain in the fray as candidates. The next question that I personally am asking my constituents is, what do I do next? So right now we are in that stage where we are evaluating which of the political parties shall we go to. Anyways, for the group of 5, it would be the safest thing to do, and that is to remain as a group of 5. We are not exploring any possibility of announcing our association with any political party. We have been elected as Congress MLA. We will complete this term as Congress MLAs. I read somewhere in the media that a representative of the AICC was in the city of Shillong. However, no one from the AICC has reached out to us. No one has asked us, because I believe that when the group of 5 remaining MLAs were ditched by those that went to the TMC, when that situation arose, we had anyways had an in-house discussion in the presence of the in-charge in the Congress Bhavan as to what will be our next move. It would be impractical for the 5 of us to remain in the opposition because we feared a few possible situations. Number 1, if we continue to mingle with those that have ditched the Congress, there is a high probability that more MLAs would be poached to that party. We wanted to isolate ourselves as a group of 5 so that we have a deeper insight after consultations with our constituents as to what to do next. But nobody waited. Now, the first letter that came to us was signed by a general secretary in the MPCC. We are learned MLAs. And as learned MLAs, we too have access to the Constitution of the Indian National Congress. And one of the sections in the Constitution of the Indian National Congress clearly and categorically states that suspension of elected members to any house need to get done from the High Command, from the table of the Honorable President of the Indian National Congress. So in the first phase, we did not initiate any response to that letter because we knew that that letter was something that was decided locally in the MPCC. Subsequently, in just few days back, maybe 10 to 12 days, we have received the approved suspension from the AICC. Now, the Indian National Congress is a party that is democratic in nature. When there is a CLP of elected MLAs, we expected the AICC to have a consult with us. But when that consultation did not take place despite the fact that a representative from the AICC was in the city, we presume that they have likely decided that they don't want us back. So that is at least clear. Now, as is in the case of all national political parties, no party wants to just throw away their party men and women. So it's a very strange situation that we are in. 3.5 years is a very peculiar period for suspension. We don't know what is the logic behind that 3.5-year period of suspension. But we are learned MLAs. We will learn, we will wait, we will further discuss. In fact, we just met few days ago to decide, since we had heard that a representative of the AICC was coming, we were awaiting for some sort of a discussion, but that didn't happen. So when all of that doesn't happen, we therefore negate or we take away any logic of any one office bearer of the AICC saying, please come back under this condition, this condition. Now, if you as a party is giving us a condition that you leave the MDA and come back, surely a negotiation needs to be set. So that we can also say, therefore, will all of the 5 candidates that you have fielded in these 5 constituencies give us the assurance that they will not run away from our support, or they will not again appear as dummy candidates of some person in the party. So we are leaving it at that. We will decide when will be the right time for the 5 of us, but I can speak for myself personally. I will only decide once I have covered every doorstep in my constituency, because it is my people who will vote me to this office. It is not me. I offer myself as a candidate, but the actual voters and selectors of me as a candidate will be people who support me. So we will wait for that time. There is no hurry. We remain as a group of 5. And we will continue to work hard in our constituencies as we always have worked hard. And nothing else changes other than that. We see in the media, somebody says, come back. Within 48 hours of that invitation for us to come back comes another diktat which says, under no circumstances you can come back. You start from scratch. So these games and this confusion should be something that all of us should ignore. We are ignoring all of that. And as of today, every 5 of our constituencies has active candidates who are trying to pin us down. After so much water under the bridge, out of 10 chances, 9.5 we are not going back. Because we also have our own reputations. We also have our own dedication to the people who elects us. So that is very clear.
Kung, is joining NPP an alternative for you?
Like I said in the past, it could be party A, party B, party C, party D. For me personally, my people will guide me forward. I will not name all the nomenclatures of parties, but if we feel that we are going to a party which recognizes our potential, which appreciates our connection with the people, if we are going to a party that we feel will take us to a better place, we will go without a second thought.
There are also some speculations that Dr. Mukul Sangha, the senior politician, he is probably looking at the idea of going back to Congress. So in case if that happens, then what will be your strategy that time?
We are no one to decide on any one individual thinking of anything or any speculation about anything. We are out of that radar. We have not been informed. We are not in communication. And the media gives us a very confused picture of this whole so-called speculation. We have been booted out very rudely. The party has refused to recognize our commitment to its ideology. We don't want to speculate with the rest. Let those that think of doing these things respond by themselves. We have nothing to say. We were colleagues for so many years. But it is best for us to stay away from speculation, because we are saving our own survival firstly.